Good morning, everybody. Carmen here, one of the owners of Quality Sewing and Vacuum. For this week's How Do I series, we are going to talk about how do I brighten my sewing space. So we're Quality Sewing and Vacuum, and we are in Western Washington, so that means Seattle. So as you can imagine, our winters are gray. We are known for just having gray skies all fall and winter, and so lighting is really important in our sewing spaces because we get very little natural light during these dark winter months. So today I'm going to talk about some different lighting options that are by daylight that are going to help you with your eyesight while you're sewing and the brightness in your sewing room. So you can see behind me here, I have a lot of different lights. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start turning them all on. So I want you to sort of watch the difference here. As I start turning these different lights on, you can see just how much brighter the area gets as I'm just clicking all of these different lights on. I've got some more over here. I'll save the wafers. Here, I'll pop these on. But you can see how my space right around me has become so much brighter. So let's talk about why lighting is so important in our sewing spaces and why the right type of light when we are sewing helps us tremendously, because if we have better light while we're sewing, the data shows that we can sew longer and we become less fatigued, because it's tiring for our bodies if our eyes are working too hard because there's not enough light. So that's one benefit, right? Sewing longer, because I don't know about you, but hanging out inside when it's cold and rainy and windy and sewing seems like a great thing to do, and it's great to have good light for that, right? So one, sewing longer. Two, the other thing is natural light. So most of our lighting in our homes, like our overhead light, it's gonna have some sort of tint to it, right? Maybe it makes your fabric look a little bit more yellow. Maybe it makes it look a little bit more blue, all depending on your lighting. They aren't actually a true color light, and I'm sure many of you have played with this before, where you go outside to look at your fabric colors to really see what the true color is, or your sewing space right now, you have it set up where it's in front of some big, beautiful windows, so you get some beautiful natural light. Well, in the winter, it's hard to get that natural light, and these lights, by daylight, they are all LED lighting. They're LEDs, which is great because they last. You don't ever have to change these bulbs. All of these bulbs are designed to last for 15,000 hours. 15,000 hours. That is a long time. So, actually, I think it's 50,000 hours. I did this wrong. It's 50,000 hours, which they say is about 15 years. That's what a 15 is. Anyway, they last a really long time, and they provide this natural light. So it's going to give you this beautiful natural lighting so you can truly see your colors. So those are the two of the major reasons to have good lighting. So let's talk about the different types of lamps that we have and how they might be able to assist you. So right here I'm standing in front of the Slimline series. And the Slimline lamps, there is a table version, and then there is a floor version. So you can see the floor version here has a nice base, and it can be on the floor. And then what's great about all of these Slimline lamps is they are really flexible. So you can bend them, you can move them, you can get them right where you want them. So if this was next to my sewing machine and I wanted it right over my sewing area and I wanted to direct the light right here or right there, I could adjust it exactly where I wanted it. And this has the floor lamp version, so it's also great. It can be next to your sofa or wherever. This is the table version, and the table version has a clamp here. Probably can't quite see it, but it's a clamp that clamps onto the side of a table. So if, and once again, this is also super flexible. So I can move it wherever I want it, right? And get it right where I need it, depending on what sort of sewing I'm doing, whether I'm sewing with my sewing machine, whether I'm doing hand sewing, any of those things. So that is really handy. And then if, let's say you really want one of these Slimline lamps, but you want it to sit on your table, there is also an optional table base that you can get to go with the table lamp. So then it would have a base. The base, when it's out, looks just like this, only of course it is much shorter. It doesn't have the spot for the floor lamp here. Okay, so these two are probably our two best-selling lamps, and they have been around for a while, and everybody raves about them. And part of that is because having a table one or a floor one and then having it be so flexible is just really handy. And then I also love the sleek, lovely design. Gives you lots of great light, but also aesthetically looks beautiful. So now let's talk about some of the smaller lights that we have, because we also have a couple of lights that have magnifiers. So this guy right here is called the floor and table light, because you can set it up either at the floor height like this, or you can make it lower and make it a table lamp. And what's great about this guy is it has the lights, but it also has this magnifier right here. So that way it has this beautiful magnification. You can have the lights on or off, and you can really get in to see what you're working on right there. And then it's also, like all of the daylights, very flexible. Okay, so this is one of the lights with a magnifier that's handy. The other one that is really handy, I'm just gonna move my little sewing machine out of the way here, so that way you can see these lights a bit better, is this guy right here. Now this guy has a magnifier in the top here, so you can see it has this magnification, but then it also has different light settings. And then this guy is actually cordless. So you can have one light setting, you can have it dimmer and all the way off, and then it folds down, and you have this nice magnifier in here. It folds like this if you want to stash it away. But pretty handy. I do love the cordless lights. They're great to take to classes. They're also just handy to take around your house, right? Leave it charging, and then maybe you want to go sit on your sofa. You want to go somewhere that's not your sewing room to work on a hand sewing project, or work on a crafting project, or read or something, and they're very easy to take with you. So there is that guy. The other, I have two more cordless lights that I'm excited about to tell you about. This guy is our brand new one. Unplug him here so you can see he's cordless. This is called the new Foldy Go. So what's fun about this guy is he gets really tiny here. So look how little he gets, and he fits right here in this little pouch. So it'd be a great one to take to classes. It just pops in here like this, and there is the entire lamp, all like that, all together. And then when you want to use it, all you have to do is open it up here, pull this guy out. The lampshade rotates. You're going to flip him around, and you could use it like this. You could, if you wanted to use it for some reason like this, you could. These are all very, the thing about daylights is they're going to always make them really flexible, and then you can just turn it on and you can give it more or less. Almost all of the lamps have 2 or 3 light settings, so that way you can choose the amount of light that is right for you in that moment. And then the other thing about all of these lights is that they never get hot. Okay, they're LED lights. They have tons of lumens in them, so they're very bright. They create that natural light, but they also never get hot. So you're never going to have to worry about, oh, my light is warm and it's adding heat to my room, or any of those things, or warm to your touch. None of that. They will never get warm. So that is this is called the Foldy. Yeah, the Foldy Go there. And then this guy is brand new. He is the Smart Go. And I love the rose gold. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's super cute. So this is also totally a rechargeable lamp, and it's wireless. This guy just comes with like a little power cord like this. It just plugs into that USB port that you use to charge your phone, that sort of thing. And then that's how you charge it, so it's really easy. It comes with just that little cord there, and then it's just like this, and you just flip it open here, and then it also has different light settings. And then these little guys here show you how much battery life you have, which is pretty handy. You can see this guy just put on the box, and he has very little battery life left. And so I will get him charged, because they come out of the box with just a little bit of power, not fully charged, and then you got to charge them up. But these guys are brand new. I think they would also make a really great stocking stuffer or gift for this holiday season, because they're cute, easy to take to class, and then also, like all of them, they move a little bit, super easy to put next to you. And then I do have 2 more lights on this table. This one is one of their smallest lights. It's called the Yo-Yo. It's really small. It does have a magnifier on the top, which is handy. This is great to like throw in your purse or something. And then it does have the lights that turn on and off. And once again, this guy is actually battery operated. And he gets really small like that. And then the other one that I will show you over here, just gonna go back here, is they also have what they call their sewing machine lamp. And the sewing machine lamp actually is a little adhesive guy that connects to the side of your sewing machine and then puts a light like coming right down where you can direct it right into your sewing machine. If your sewing machine doesn't have quite enough lighting, it is powered through an outlet though. So it has the little clips where you're gonna clip the wires so that way they sort of like stay connected to the back of your sewing machine, and then you would plug it in. That's a common question I get, is how is it powered? And so this is also another handy way to add light. Okay, now let's go over here. This one is my personal favorite. I'm gonna turn him off for a second so you can see here. So this guy is called the Luminos. And this is really like a task lamp, right? So I'm gonna turn him back on now. And it offers, oh, I'm going the wrong way. This is what I do. Click the right buttons, Carmen. Okay, there we go. I want the brightest setting. Okay, so this is a task lamp. So it has this moving arm here, so you can really get it wherever you want it, and you can get it right over your workspace. This part is also moves, so you can really get it. What I like about this guy is, and I keep hitting the lighting buttons right here, so I keep hitting it as I'm showing it there. The light itself doesn't flicker, it's just me hitting the button. But what I love about this is how wide the lighting is, right? So I can get this whole wide area. I find it really handy on the back of my sewing table. Really lovely, lovely light. And you know, it is really, really bright. It's 6,500 Kelvin, so bright. There's so much good color here. 3 brightness settings. It's pretty fun. Okay, so the next thing is the wafers. So the wafers, they make these light tables in 3 different sizes. So I have the medium one here and the large one, and then this is the little one. So this would be the smallest one. So they make them in 3 different sizes. They're called Wafer 1, Wafer 2, and Wafer 3. And what's great about these Wafer Lights is that you can do lots of different things with them, right? So they're great if you ever want to trace anything, whether that be for a crafting project, or maybe it's applique, or maybe you want to trace a pattern, right? Or you want to trace something on a fusible stabilizer, any of these things, maybe for paper piecing. There's lots of different times when having light come from behind something is really helpful, because it's going to make tracing so much easier, right? Instead of trying to hold it, put it up against your window and trace it. I don't know if you've ever done that, but I've definitely done tracing that way. This is much easier. It's all right here. And then this is maybe the coolest part. So this is a cutting mat. So they make cutting mats for the 3 different sizes, and they also make them with lines. So you can also put this here. You still get that light coming through, and you can put your fabric here and you can cut. So if you need to do some sort of cutting where you've drawn something, or you want to, where you want that light coming through, this is pretty cool, because there's not too many other table lights like this that also have a spot for using your rotary cutter. So that is pretty awesome. And then these, you can see they're off or they're on. They're very bright. And then they have the different sizes depending on what size is going to work best for you. So I have just talked about today some of my favorite Daylight lamps. Daylight makes a lot of beautiful lamps. They're all on our website, qualitysewing.com. And all of these different lights are going to give you more light in your sewing room. And the beauty of having more sewing light is you're gonna fatigue not quite as soon, right? You're gonna be able to sew longer because it's so much easier on your eyes when you have the right light. The other thing is, when you have good lighting, you're able to see your thread better. You're able to see your needles better, right? You're able to see everything a lot better, but also the colors are true, right? These are true colors, so you can see the colors of your fabrics better and make better choices when you're picking fabric and when you're picking thread. I hope you found this helpful. Hopefully this brightened your day a bit. If you have any questions or anything, please comment here. We'd love to hear from you. Happy sewing!